So as the homily's over, we come over where there might be a moment of meditation, or if the priest looks at the clock and goes, oops, I talked too long, we go into the creed. There are two forms of the creed. We always stand for it. We do either the Apostles' Creed or the Nicene Creed. The general instruction on the Roman Missal suggests that through Lent and Easter that you use the Apostles' Creed because that's the basis for the promises made in the baptism rite. So that gets everybody ready and familiar with that format of it. And then we have the universal prayer, again for the universal church, not just for us. And the universal prayer, either the reader or the deacon prays those, leads those, and they are supposed to be for the religious leaders, political leaders, the sick and the dying, and then other local needs as necessary. They shouldn't just be out of a book, and if there are issues going on in the society, like adding ones for the pandemic, adding ones for all sorts of different things, as we realize we're not just here for us, but as we pray this prayer, we're praying it for everybody. So that's just a quick little insert, and this is probably going to be the shortest one because the next one is going to be a little bit longer. I told you last time I was going to put them together, but that just isn't going to work. So this is sort of the transition point from the liturgy of the Word to the liturgy of the Eucharist, and now the priest would usually sit down as the preparation of the altar, the collection would be taken up, and all those things. So we'll be right back with the preparation of the gifts. Okay, as you can see, I didn't change. Next is the preparation of the gifts. This is one of the processions as the gifts come forward. That isn't happening normally during COVID, but as the gifts come forward, as the collection's taken up, and as with many churches, we're doing ours at the beginning, with just baskets. But as we do these things, we're coming again to the altar. The procession is to the altar. There's only one procession leading away, and that's the recessional, and that's at the end. But the gifts are brought up. And then we set the table just as we do with many other things. This is sort of a standard table. We have tablecloth at home. And then as the priest comes here, the gifts have come up, then we put everything out that we need. So at our home table, what did we have? We had tablecloth. Then we come together, and if we're going to put something down, we put a placemat down. In the church, we call this a corporal. It's folded in a special way so that if any crumbs or anything get in here, that we just fold it back up like this, and it keeps the crumbs inside it, and then there are special ways that all of this is washed, and maybe we'll do a special video on that. This covers, if this were a real mass, there'd be bread in here. This covers that. This is called a pall. This is called a paten or a ciborium because we use it with bread. This is the plate. So as we set our table, we put our plate, we put our cups. Have you ever had oil and vinegar salad dressing? We have our cruets filled with the wine and water. So all this stuff should remind you of stuff at your home table. As we've set this table to come, as the song we had at Mass this morning says, to come to the feast, it is set purposely, just like we set a table at home, with our tablecloth, with our placemats, with our utensils, with this. But this meal is of a slightly different nature, as we'll talk in a little bit, as heaven comes down and touches earth.